Hey folks, welcome to another Triple T Thursday. For those just joining us, that's Tools, Tips, and Talk, where we'll talk about info for the knife maker. In today's episode, we're going to do a shop tour. So I'm going to take you around the shop, show you all the things I use, how I use them, and where they're located. Throughout this, you're going to see a lot of tools that I may have spoke about before, so you will see some links up in the corner for other videos where I talk more about those in detail. And remember, all of certainly the smaller tools, some of the bigger tools are always linked down in the description, so go check for those there. All right, guys, let's go take a look. So we'll start outside, and yes, my shop is my garage. So let's take a look at my main work area here. So this is the main table. You see a couple projects here. There's some Damascus that I need to restack. There's a sneak peek, spoiler alert, at the build that'll come this Sunday. All the tools that I regularly use, a big shelf with a bunch of stuff up there. My knife vise. This thing swings around. If it wasn't locked, it spins like this. You can put blades here if I'm hand sanding, or I can put the blade in here and do handle work. So very nice tool. Of course, we've got the Broadbeck, which I purchased about 3 months ago. Amazing machine. I did a whole video on this, so I'll show you, so I won't go into too much detail on this, but I've done a review of that already. I do have a dust collection system you can see down here, and I'll show that, which I use the flexible hose when I'm doing wood, any kind of laminate, any kind of non-metal work. I will pull this up and, whoops, I just pulled it out. It will stick up there and I'll turn it on. If I'm doing metal work, I'm just using the bucket. So here's my next workstation. First, when Portaband, I have it locked in a vise so that I can do that. When drill press, and then just a table to do various things. This is where I do my drilling and a lot of my handle work. There's the dust collection system. It's just piped down here, under here, and it's only fed into this machine. And it's pretty loud, so I'm not going to turn it on. There's the workhorse, the 30-ton press. I have a whole video on that, so I'll put a link up in the corner on that one. A sink for washing your hands so your wife doesn't yell at you when you come into the house. Here is our forging station. I did a whole kind of video series on building this forge, so I'll put some of the links up there. This is a blown air ribbon burner forge. It's all soft fire brick plus a hard fire brick interior for protection and durability. And it's got this cool sliding door, which I love. 170-pound hay button anvil. And you've seen some of my videos where the anvil moves around. That was my old anvil, which you'll see over there when we get there. Also, I have a 100-gallon, 100-pound, propane tank to feed this guy. But this thing only runs at maybe 3 or 4 psi, maybe, when I'm forge welding, which is the great thing about the forced air ribbon burner. Moving along, we got a couple tables. Here is the Wen, it's not a chop saw, but metal cutting saw, which is great. I did a whole video review on this, so I'll put a link up in the corner for that. DeWalt table saw. That's what I cut most of my handle material with. Great machine. Really love this one. This is a Wen horizontal bandsaw. This is what I do most of the cuts for Damascus on. It's also a workhorse, and I use it for most things. Like I've said in videos, I try to not use an angle grinder for anything because they're so loud and messy. Okay, on to the big tools. This is my Precision Matthews mill. It's a PM25MV. Love this machine. I can't say enough good things about it. I'm really impressed with everything this machine has done for me. Has the DRO, which is not plugged in right now. Yeah, if you're going to get one of these, make sure you get the DRO. Great machine. I do all my handle fit-ups with this. Drilling slots and guards, all kinds of stuff I do with this. I do build a lot of tooling with this as well. This is the Encode lathe that my buddy Brandon gifted me, and I did a restoration on this one. I don't use it a ton, but when I need it, I love to have it. The project you're going to see on Sunday, I just did some of the pieces for that on here. So great machine, love that I have it. Over here we have another set of tables. This is normally my leatherworking station. It's also just another table to do things. All my leatherworking stuff is up here. A bunch of leather, all my dies, everything else is up here. This in the middle here is my heat treating station. I've got an even heat LB18, so it's an 18-inch oven. My quench tanks, the big one is Parks 50, the small one is Parks AAA. I've got aluminum plates for doing stainless steel. So this is where I do most of my heat treating and tempering. So finally on to the welding station and just generally other things. There's my old anvil. That's an NC Tools anvil. It's a 70-pounder. I actually usually have that over there when I'm doing stamping. I use this for leather work to do my stamping on. I have this titanium 200 Pro welder. Does stick, MIG, and TIG. So it's a great machine. Love that machine. I only wish it had pedal start instead of lift start. Unfortunately, is the only TIG start that it has. But otherwise, a great machine. Moving on. This is my rack where I store all of my steel and other things. All of this is all 1095. There's a billet actually I'm working on. There's a bunch of other kind of stock. Down here I've got copper sheets and most of my handle material, liners, stuff like that. Don't even know what that is. Pin material, all that stuff's down there. And down there I've got my tumbling machine, my jig for doing false edges, my little sled for doing wire wraps, and some powder and all other stuff. And of course, like any garage, there's a bunch of junk. So I'll pan around here. Of course, dartboard when you get bored and you're waiting for things. There it is. So there's kind of two spots in the garage. This area, tools in the center, forging area, press, and then the work tables, and then just other places where I leave my hammers and stuff like that. That is the whole shop. Thanks for joining me on this episode. I hope you got something out of the shop tour. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments. Again, links to almost all these tools are also down in the description, so check those out. Those are mostly Amazon links, so the channel gets a cut for whatever you guys buy. Check out my other videos that have been linked in the cards if you want to see detailed videos on those items. Thanks, folks. Join me this Sunday for the build that you saw on the table. It's going to be a fun one. We'll see you soon.